Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Zicast. I'm your host, Ryan Ziaks, and today I'm joined by content creator Zara Kiiwii.
Hi, everyone.
So, Zara, on my show, I interview people, get to know them better, and I'm very excited to get to know more about you. So, how about you kick things off by telling us a bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. I am a content creator by night, and then full time. I work as an urban planner full time, like 9 to 5. So, a bit much to juggle around, but that's currently what I'm doing right now, and yeah, it's been fun.
And where are you from?
I'm from Canada, Toronto area.
Wow, wow, wow. My first Canadian on
Yeah.
the Zicast. So even now, so many episodes in, I'm still hitting some really, really cool milestones. So Zara, how about you tell me what kind of inspired you to start creating content?
Oh, I've always been like obsessed with it, like ever
Mhm,
since. Kid, like, I was, like, 14, 15, I'd watch YouTube all the time, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, I wish I could do this." I was, like, obsessed with a creator named, like, Bethany Moda or all these, like, makeup
mhm,
creators. Oh my gosh, like, I have to do this one day. And then I think when I, like, turned, like, 20, I was like, "Okay, this has been, like, such a, long dream of mine, like, let me try it." Here I am. So I think I started around, like, 2021.
mhm,
My really go anywhere, but then I think around, like, age, like, 24, it started to do well,
mhm.
so it's a lot of time.
Yeah, that's the thing about, this content creator business. It's takes time and it's takes time and consistency. Kind
Mhm.
of where I was introduced to your content was because you talked a lot about movies and then kind of did a lot of that and then infused it with a lot of beauty content. Do you mind telling me kind of where that all stems from and then kind of where you wanted to take your passion of talking about films?
Yeah, so I would say I've always been a really big fan of both, um, topics and, like, niches, and I
Mm,
kind of cycled in and out of it. So, like, when I first started, I was doing, like, Halloween makeup, like, I was doing all this crazy makeup, and then, I was so passionate about film and the film industry, and it's honestly pretty similar because like, a lot of, like,
mm,
full of crazy characters and all that
mm.
stuff, very attached to all these characters. And I would love to analyze them, and I would love to just kind of really dig into them and be like, okay, like this character does this and acts like this for these reasons. Like I really like to kind of get into it. So I think that the movie content kind of came naturally for me because I had a natural passion for it. But I think what kind of I struggled with was like doing like, picking between niches, and I think that's
Mhm.
with, like, being a creator, it's like you struggle with the niches, so anyways, I eventually went from movies to now I fuse them both together, the beauty and the movies, and I think that's, like, the perfect, like, happy medium, I'd say, so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Because especially with a lot of content creation, you're trying to be in a niche because that's how you get your audience and that's
Yeah.
how you kind of keep moving forwards. And I was curious if you have any specific favorite videos or projects that you've done that that you would want to mention.
Yeah, I'd say that long form, like, content is really hard to make, but it's very rewarding, so
Mm,
I'd say that, my favorite video that I've ever made was an analysis video
mm,
for the movie called Civil War. I don't know if you've seen it.
yes.
Oh,
And the Alex Garland A24, yeah. Mhm,
yeah, it's crazy. So, I think when I saw that film, I was like I just was so taken aback by, like, how much went into that film and, like, the details behind it. So,
mhm,
I put it all together, did my analysis on, like, what I believe the movie was really trying to mention, which is the topic of desensitization.
mhm.
And I put that up, and I really, like, feel like that video it took me a long time to make it. I think it took me, like, 2 weeks straight of, like, just straight editing. It was, like, many, many hours.
Yeah.
Uh, and I put it up, and I feel like that's my most proud project that I've done.
And then kind of staying on that same topic, I like to ask you, like, what's been the most rewarding part of connecting with such a wide audience through your work?
It's been really interesting because, as you know, I have switched niches a couple
Yeah.
times. Like, I've also switched, like, kinda audiences, right?
Mm,
I would have a set of, you know, a certain target audience that I would have, or I guess not a target audience, but it just kinda
mm,
be that, right? That was really interested in, like, the analysis content, and then now it's, like, a whole new shift of an audience, so it's really just, like, I it's nice to have such reach and, like, be able to get so much engagement and, like, reach, but it's also, like, hard to pinpoint, like, um, like, kinda where a lot of the like, who's really watching me, like, kinda, like, how I'm
Yeah.
changing, like, how to navigate it, who I'm like, because you kinda gotta talk to the camera, like, talk to the audience as
Mm.
if he's one real main person that's kinda like, the type of person that's watching your content, but it's, like, hard to pinpoint that. So I'd say that, like, just it's been a lot of shifting and a lot of changing, but, it's been really nice to have the opportunity to do that, and I'm grateful that I've been able to reach so many different kinds of
Yeah.
people. So, yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of listening on your end. Of course, people are listening to you when you're making your content, but you have to listen back to your audience and make those pivots. And you mentioned being an urban planner by day. I'd like to ask you if you don't mind kind of telling us a bit about that job and kind of what that demands.
I just recently got like, a new job as
Hmm.
a an urban planner, like a senior planner.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a little bit slow moving right now, but I'd say, like, in my previous role before I switched to this new job, I did a lot of, like, just planning out, like, restaurants and the kinda, like, the lot, the area of it,
Mm.
and just getting a lot of it's, like, a lot of applications getting a lot of applications in, a lot of applications approved, reviewing site plans, really, like I'd say it's kind of like not that big of a passion for me, but
Mm.
it's enjoyable, but I would
Yeah.
say the passion is more lies in, I guess, my creative work, and I think with
Mm.
my job, um, it's a really big shift for me because I'm so used to working remote and doing my 9 to 5. Um, right after my 9 to 5, I'm, like, ready to go ahead and film.
Yeah.
Um, Now with my new job, it's been 3 months and I've just, been going in every day that
Mm.
it's really challenging to navigate both things, and I feel like I scaled back a little on the content because I'm like, "How do I manage it all?" Like, if I'm in every day and then I'm on the road for, like, hours every day, it's like
Mm.
I think that's, like, the thing that's really challenging about also being a planner. It's like there's so much, uh there's only so much time in a day, right?
Time management becomes a big hurdle to overcome, I bet. And I was curious, Sarah, if you have any advice for people who want to go into content creation because you've been doing it for so long now, you've been able to see a lot, you've been able to interact with your audience. Do you have any bit of wisdom you can give to anyone?
Yeah, I would say, don't be afraid to be cringe. I would say go ahead and, if you feel like, oh, I can't post this, this is embarrassing, all of that,
Mm.
or you overthink every piece of content that you put out there, then you're not really going to get much out there. And I think just being a perfectionist or being so concerned about what other people think of you is going to hold you back a lot because the way the algorithm works is I hate to say it, but it's all about quantity, and if you're gonna be super worried about every piece of content you put out there, you're never gonna really get much out there. You're gonna get things out there in a very, like, slow and inconsistent pattern,
Mm.
uh, and honestly, if you're getting hate comments, that means you're doing something right, so that's what I think.
That's incredibly relatable, and that's something I've had to learn in my time too, is that something existing is better than it not existing, even if it's not perfect. And I, like many others, overthink things as well. But this is advice I give to other people as well, just to keep doing it. And that's something that your work is a testament to, is just to stay at it and to keep trying to evolve, Zara. So to keep kind of moving this forward, I'd like to ask you, what are some things people might not know about you, like fun facts?
Fun facts, I have, 5 siblings, so
Wow.
big family.
5 siblings, what was that experience like growing up?
It's nice. I
Mm.
I really value it, actually.
Mm.
I can't even imagine what my life would be like without having so many siblings, and,
Mm.
um, yeah, it's just, like, you always just have, like, people that are close to you in your life. That's a really nice experience.
Yeah, built-in friends,
Built-in
um,
friends.
which goes a long way, as you just attested to. And I'm also curious, Zara, what's one thing you love and one thing you strongly dislike?
I love, love hot, nice, beautiful weather.
Mhm.
I love heat.
Mhm.
I absolutely strongly cannot stand Canadian winters. That's what
Yes.
that's that's something I really hate. So, um, yeah. So that's it's like for me, I can handle those. I can handle the crazy heat waves.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say when you mentioned that you like the heat, I'm, like, thinking in my head, I'm like, "Well, Canada isn't exactly known for that." So,
Yeah.
no, I very much feel that the older I get, the less I like the cold. And do you have something that you dislike?
Algorithms so regularly. That's a pet peeve because it's like it's just so unpredictable. All
Mm,
the that come. I also dislike the rise of AI taking over a little bit. So, taking over content that freaks me out. Oh my gosh! Like I'm like I don't even know what I see videos and I'm like I can't even tell the difference between reality anymore. So I think that to me is like something I'm not too fond of right now. It's just really
mm.
freaking a little.
Yeah, and I'm kinda curious, like, in your space as a content creator, how do you think AI could end up impacting that? Because, like what you just said, I've seen a lot of videos that look so real. There's, like, these, like, minute things that tell you that it's AI. Like, how do you think that'll end up entering this space?
I like to really think of it optimistically and hope that, you know, future will have, labels everywhere. It's like you can
Mhm,
tell things AI because it has to be, like, legally labeled or whatever. But I also know that with that comes a lot of issues. It's like,
mm,
how do you really always detect it? How effective is it? Is it
mm,
gonna mistakenly detect, like, real videos as AI? Like, there's just many issues that I think will come of it. I think people will always value humans, right?
mhm,
But I think the problem isn't if they value humans or not. I think the problem is they can't tell. They won't
yeah,
know if human or not, and
mm,
that's worries me. Uh, so I don't know what the future holds, but I don't wanna fearmonger or anything. Scare you.
no. No, no, of course, and that's something about content creation, I'm sure that you've experienced this too. It's authenticity is key, and
Mhm.
that people can see that and people can spot fakes, or at least I'd like to think that people can spot fakes. So I think that people will interact with very personal human content and know when to weed out AI. And of course, AI can be a great tool for editing or things like that, but in terms of creative works, I think it's always best to stick to humans. So I'm also curious, Zara, just to ask you your kind of your hopes and dreams and your goals moving forwards.
Yeah, I think my hopes and dreams are I would really like to, I guess, after, kind of being in this new phase of my life with
Mm,
the job and not having enough time for content, I'd really like to just revive my account a little bit and kind of like post more consistently, get my work out there,
mhm,
uh, for audiences, grow my YouTube channel. I think
mm,
for my dreams and goals are all kind of around like just growth on
mhm.
social media, um, and just being able to kind of like get my work out there a little more. So.
Yeah, definitely. To keep pushing forward, and that's something you've done a great job of over these years. And of course, your content started with talking about movies, Zara. So how about you tell me some of your favorite movies?
Yeah, I'd say my favorite movie of this year my favorite horror movie of this year was Weapons. That was a really
Mm. I actually watched it recently as of the time of this recording, and yeah, very accessible horror film. I really liked it.
I also really liked Sinners from this year.
Mhm.
My favorite movie ever is Joker. And
Do you mind telling us why? Because I remember you making a lot of content about it in the past. Do you mind telling us why that movie sticks with you?
I have a really strong, um, I'd say I'm really drawn to strong characters and
Mm,
well-written characters, and obviously the Joker is like a legendary character, but, the way that that film showed his backstory and his villain origin story or all that, it's like it was so real and raw, and
mm,
it to so many people for a good reason, and it was what performed so incredibly.
mm,
Uh, so I think I just have always kind of grown a bit of an attachment to that movie just by how well the character story is, right? It's a
mm.
whole backstory.
Definitely, definitely, and of course, it made a bill like you mentioned, it performed so well, $1 billion for an R-rated this kind of very like homage to Taxi Driver. That's not something you really see very often. Of course, it has the DC, and of course, people hear Joker think Batman, but that is a quite an achievement for it. And then, are there any other films that come to mind?
I really liked Wolf of Wall Street. That was a really good one, just because it kinda, I think it showed you a lot about what, what type of people
Mhm,
and what their life is really like, and
mhm,
yeah, it just kinda shed a lot of light into that, uh, backstory, I guess, and I know it's based on it loosely based on a true story, so I found that really interesting just to kinda get a glimpse into that world a little bit, and also it's just, ridiculously entertaining. It's, from
mhm,
beginning to end, it's like you are, you know, on the like, interested. There's always something happening, so I find that that's pretty interesting.
mhm.
Um, yeah, so I thought that was a really good film.
As you were saying that, all your videos about Joker and Wolf of Wall Street just start playing in my head that I remember from the past. Yeah, and of course, Wolf of Wall Street, it's like a roller coaster that lasts for 3 hours.
It's like watching a 3-hour movie is always a little bit, I feel like, much for me, unless it's a movie like that where it just keeps you so entertained, right?
Mm. Yeah, of course, it's Scorsese with those, rise and fall narratives of a epic criminal, and then that just kinda keep you hooked the whole way, and I
Of
was hooked this whole conversation, Zara, so I wanna thank you so much for coming on the show.
course, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I'm curious if you have any motivational words or any plugs of your accounts that you'd wanna share, just some parting words before we go.
If there's something that continues to pull you towards it or call you. For example, for me, it was content, and I ignored it for so long. It's like I ignored that for, 7 years. I'm like, I wanted to do it, and I just was afraid to. Just try it, you don't have to worry so much about what other people think because most people, even if they see your video, they're probably gonna forget about it in 2 seconds. Even if they see it and hate it, they're not gonna remember it the next day. It's really just you against yourself, so that's what I think.
And it's at the end of the day, do what you love, and
Good
you've
luck.
been able to do that for so long, Czar, so, of course, thank you so much for being here. I've always been super inspired by you and your work. You're always incredibly fun to talk to, and I appreciate you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, and this is Ryan Ziaks with the Zicast, where everyone has a story, signing off. Thank you so much for watching.